can write OET tree, something like that. Is it the same or?
OET, I am not sure about OET, but I think it is. It's something for medical, pharma or medical people, I believe.
But
I'm not
TOEFL?
sure.
Is it TOEFL?
TOEFL is for US. TOEFL is again an English language test, but that's only for US. But if you're looking at other destinations, it will not work out for other destinations. IELTS is accepted worldwide. Any destination. There is not a single country or a single destination which doesn't accept IELTS. That is the reason I said it's the most widely accepted English language test. More than 9,000 plus organizations accept IELTS. Just for your information, we are also looking into getting into a computer-based testing also, which might happen somewhere next year, wherein you will have a choice of doing an IELTS test on a computer as well. A similar one, but on a computer. So that, by doing so, what we're doing is we're trying to reduce the tag for the results, which is 13 days now. So probably we'll try to get it down a bit, but there's a long way to go. So we'll have to look at it next year. Yeah, OET is not similar to IELTS. OET, I think it's only given by nurses and medical professionals, who are looking to go abroad. So if someone is looking for an admission abroad or a different job, they will not be able to give OET. OET will not.
For Australia.
Australian.
That's only for Australia?
Australian English.
That's only for Australia and New Zealand.
And PT also.
Yeah.
PT is also another English language test. I'm sure most of you have heard about it. That's again a computer-based test. Mostly accepted in Australia, but not as widely accepted as IELTS in other destinations. And the difference between PT and IELTS is PT is computer-based test. Okay, IELTS is not. IELTS is you have a human touch when it comes to IELTS, especially when you're talking to a person during the speaking test. They understand the emotions behind your words. They understand what you're actually trying to tell them, rather than speaking to a computer, which records whatever you just say.
IDP is a consultancy or it's an organization behind it?
Both, actually. IDP is, IDP was formed around 40 years ago. IDP is International Development Program. We started as a non-government organization or a non-profit organization to develop youth in those days, in those years. And then we moved on, we partnered with Seed Universities or Seed Group in Australia. I'm not sure most of you have heard about it. Seed is a very famous group in Australia. So we have partnered with them and we started sending students abroad for higher education. So we started off with a consultancy first. Okay, and then later we've developed this IELTS test along with British Council and Cambridge English. So all three of us came together and thought, okay, we'll develop a test which will set standards for English language. Okay, that will be a benchmark for someone who's trying to go abroad, that they have to give that test. And based on the bands, they'll be given admission into various universities. So that's when we developed this test. And Cambridge, don't have a whiteboard, right? Okay, no problem. So I'll just briefly explain the roles of Cambridge, IDP and British Council. What are the differences, okay? Cambridge actually does all the research and development. They are the ones who set up your question papers. They are the ones who ensure that the difficulty level of the question paper all around the world is uniform. You take a test in Jordan, you take a test in Singapore, you take a test in Malaysia, you take a test in Sri Lanka. The difficulty level remains the same. It's not going to be different when you take the test in a different part of the world. Okay, so it is same all over the world. And you guys know the timelines or the time, what do you call those? Latitudes or longitudes, which actually divide the time zones. So for every 2 hours, the question paper changes. This is to ensure that the test is secure, because the technology is so advanced these days. 2 hours is a big time. 2 hours is is huge time actually. So we want to ensure that there is no security breach. So what we do is for every 2 hours in the time zones, the question paper changes to ensure that the test is secure. So I was talking about Cambridge. They actually set up the question paper. They are the ones who decide which question paper has to be set up for academic, which one has to be set up for general training. So they are the ones who actually do all the research and development, and they are the ones who actually send the question papers to BC and IDP both. Okay, so IDP and BC, we are the executors of the test. We basically execute the test from end to end, right from the registration part till the time you do a score reporting. We are the ones who execute the test. And on a given today we have a test. Today, as we speak, there is okay. Candidates are getting lined up for the test. So today we have a test, and both BC and IDP test centers.
Yeah, two of our candidates. Yeah.
Okay, they are there.
Yeah.
Okay, so both with IDP or BC?
IDP.
Right. So both IDP and BC test centers, they receive the same question paper from Cambridge. It is the same question paper which is going to both the centers. So there is no difference between the two. Okay. And
People have a doubt whether IDP is easy to score marks or the BC.
that's what I'm trying to explain, because it answers that question. See, both entities are same. The question paper is going from Cambridge to BC and IDP, including the listening series. So the question paper remains the same. The way you answer is going to get you the marks.
The valuation.
Evaluation is also remains the same, because we are responsible to Cambridge. We are answerable to Cambridge. So what happens is Cambridge is the one who decides, how do you award the bands, how do you give the score. So they are the ones who guide us, both of us, IDP as well as British Council. And after every test, on 11th day, see what happens is, when you give your speaking scores are actually given then and there, though it is not published to you. The scores are already given and the scores are actually sent to our head office. Okay? Then comes a LRW test. Listening and reading, you do it on an optical mark reader, OMR sheet, right? One side you have the listening, the other side you have the reading. So you answer that on OMR. So OMRs are collected and sent to our head office, where the clerical, markers actually mark your papers there, wherein they have answers, pre-designed answers. They check and they actually correct it. So speaking scores are already there. Listening, reading scores are being collated again, and then comes writing. Your writing is evaluated by the examiners, actual examiners. So we send your papers wherever the examiners are available. It can be any part of the country. So they can go to Bangalore, they can go to Hyderabad, they can go to North as well. So wherever the examiners are available, we send the papers, they mark, they actually give the scores, and those scores are also sent to our HO. So that's when we collate all your scores, listening, reading, writing and speaking, and then an overall band is formed. This happens before the 11th day. Okay? So on the 11th day, we collate everything. These scores are sent to Cambridge. This happens for both, BC as well as IDP. Both of us send the scores to Cambridge for every test day on the 11th day. Cambridge does a proofreading, they check if everything is in place. They also take random samples and they actually evaluate again. So they evaluate whether it was evaluated correctly or not. Okay? And you might have heard about some results being withheld at times, results being withheld by Cambridge. So this is a part of it. If they find that the evaluation didn't happen correctly, so they will reevaluate and then they give the score again. So this will take some time.
Yeah, mine was like that.
Right? Okay. So that will take some time. So don't have to be afraid or don't have to be worried, as long as you're not involved in any kind of malpractice. Okay? So they reevaluate again and they send the scores to you. And so on 11th day all this happens, 12th day they send the scores back to us, 13th day we publish the scores back to you. So that's how the entire process happens at the back end after the test is given. So now you tell me, what is the difference? Is it easier with IDP or is it easier with BC? I don't think so. So there is hardly any difference. It's lack of awareness. People don't know, and there are a lot of rumors in the market. They say IDP is easier, they say BC is easier. But both are same. There's no difference between the two. It's like, I give this classic example everywhere. You can buy an iPhone from 2 different stores, from a lot of stores for that matter. Okay, so you buy the iPhone from 2 different stores, but the end product remains the same. Is there any change in the product? No. It is like you're getting it from a different vendor, a different executor. So, only difference is the way it is serviced.
IDP is in India or in other countries?
We have a head office in India, okay, but IDP is actually based out of Australia. It's an Australian company. We have a presence in more than 40 countries. We have offices in more than 40 countries all over the world.
So which are the nearest test centers?
For Calcutta.
For Kerala we have Kochi, Kottayam, Calicut, Angamali, Thrissur and Toronto.
So these are the test centers we have in Kerala. I don't know the geography of Kerala very much. So you guys will be better, to judge which is the closest one for you.
How many marks a person has to achieve to qualify academic test?
That depends. It depends from university to university. It depends from destination to destination. To which country are you applying to which program are you applying to. So the university is the best person or the best organization to decide which is the band that you look at, or what is the minimum band that you need to secure.
So if we didn't get the desired score, can we reapply?
Yes, of course. There is no limit, in the number of reattempts you can take, and there's no time span that you have to wait for as well. If you've taken the test, you can take the next immediate test as well. It's not that you have to wait for 6 months and then take the next test. There is no limit in that.
So some universities does not require IELTS.
Some of them, very few of them. But I think
If you want to apply for PR, but you have to take IELTS.
most of them actually do need an IELTS.
Some universities said that we don't need an IELTS.
Good enough.
No, but now everyone has.
I know that there was.
They called from your office itself, IDP. Went for country.
Which country?
In Canada, I think.
No.
I definitely need an
Definitely.
IELTS. And you need the best band in Canada.
No, IDP
You need
office
7
called-
overall. 7 overall individual.
Overall 6.5 or less than 6.
It might be some institution.
Maybe, I tell you, these are basically for diploma programs. Usually this happens for colleges and diploma programs, not for universities. So these are low-level diploma
No,
programs.
every year they told me.
See,
that-
for getting an admission, IELTS is not required. When you go for visa purpose, they will show you IELTS.
Again, very few. I'm sure Mujib knows it, Shakil knows it. There are very few of them. Which is why everybody's sitting here. Otherwise,
So sometimes it happens to attract candidates.
yeah. And later they will reveal that okay, yeah, you have to take this for the visa.
Sir, maybe this is something bullshit, but still,
No,
I need to get your perspective. Is it possible to get higher bands if I can spend another 10 or 15 lakhs?
Okay. See, I'll tell you, don't believe in all this. There's nothing like that. Had it been the case, everybody would have got the required band. So there's nothing like that happening. If someone tells you, that you pay me, I will give you a required band, you're wasting your money. They're only playing with your money. They'll tell you, they'll take your money, they'll tell you, okay, we will try. It's all your effort. They're not putting any effort. You're putting in the effort. You're getting the band. In fact, you're losing the money as well. You're not getting the band, they'll return back the money to you. So there is a win-win situation either ways. Right? So don't believe in all this. Don't just waste your money. Rather than spending 15 lakhs, I would suggest spend 10,000 or 12,000. Get a proper training for 15-20 days. You will get your band. Don't waste your 15 lakhs of money, please. It's going to help you in your future. It's going to help you when you go abroad. Don't waste your money. It's a hard-earned money. Nobody gets money for free, right?
Excuse me, sir. Whether we can combine the two exam bands. If we are attending one term, we get some batch in one thing, and we lost in speaking. Means next time we will get.
Can you club?
Yes.
No, you can't club your school.
For some universities, New Zealand and Australia, that's it.
I think that is only for a particular university or something. But otherwise, if you're talking about, majorly talking about, all the universities, you can't club your schools. That's an exception again. It's not for all the universities. You can only do that for exceptions. You need to check with the university for that. But otherwise, if you talk about a particular test, and I think that has to be within a span of particular time as well. You can't take a test a year back and you get a good band one more year. Is it?
Validity is in
I think that is only for few universities. But if you majorly talk about all the universities, you can't club your scores.
2 years of getting IELTS, what about its scope and significance after 2 years?
Scope and?
Significance?
No, does it have any value?
After 2 years? No. See, it expires after 2 years. The validity of the test is 2 years. So that means after 2 years, if you still want to go abroad, if you still want to try, or if you need an IELTS, you have to take an IELTS test again. Because it expires after 2 years. There is a reason for that as well, because most of us actually treat it as a mug-up test. You mug up and go give a test. It's not about that. It's basically your language proficiency. And that is the reason they give it 2 years back. So if your proficiency is good, no matter whenever you give it, you get a good grade.
What's the fees for applying? Fees for registration?
Fees for the test? 11,300. 11,300 is the fee for the test. Sorry, I didn't get your question. Can you please repeat
Is there any connections with the course fee?
Course fee in the sense the program fee.
And IELTS score?
It depends, yeah. There is a direct relevance to that because your admission to a particular university or a particular destination depends on your IELTS score most of the time. Okay, for example, if you're getting a good band, you will be eligible to apply for that particular A-class universities. So obviously, if you're going for an A-class university, the fee would be different. So is the education, so is the infrastructure, so is your career growth or your prospects of a better future. So similarly, if you get a lower band, then you'll have to look in for a B-grade colleges. And again, everything is subsequently linked. So it certainly carries weightage. If you get a good band, you have high prospects of getting into a better college. I know the fee depends on that, but then again, it's about your future. So you'll have a brighter future if you're getting into an A-class college. You wanted to ask something?
If I registered for the examination once, and how many times I can attend the examinations?
Register once?
Yes.
If you register once, you can attend only once. But if you do multiple registrations, you can take your exam.
If I want to take examination twice,
Yes, you can. There is no limit.
I have to pay the registration.
Yes, you have to. Because you're paying only for once. So when you pay for the registration, what happens is we are paying everybody. Basically, we are paying the examiner to examine your or to take your speaking. We are paying the examiner to mark your writing scripts. We are paying the clerical markers to mark your OMR sheets. We are paying the banquet hall or the hotel for your for that particular seat. We're paying Cambridge for your question paper, your OMR sheet, your answer paper. So everything is linked. So when you do a registration, part of it goes to all of these expenses. Which is why we say cancellation is not possible after 35 days or because what happens is there is an expense which is already paid for that. 35 days or beyond, or in fact if you're doing it 35 days and earlier, then you have a scope to give that seat to someone else. But after that it is not possible to give it to someone else. So that is the reason. So one registration, one test.
Is the date same for?
Yes, because we are supposed to conduct the test on the same day at the same time. So the dates have to be same all over the world.
See, Kottayam, same Kottayam.
But general and academic will be together on one day?
Yes. Together. We have academic test in all 4 weeks of the month, but general is done only 2 weeks in a month.
Okay. And it is done together most of the time?
Yes, together. It's not done separately, except UKVI. UKVI is done separately. Yeah, otherwise, academic, GP all done together at the same time on the same day. BC or IDP. As I said, that answers your question. What is the difference? There is no difference because the test is happening at the same time, on the same day, the same question paper, the same evaluation, the same type of band. Everything is same. The same, recognizing authority.
Only venues are different.
Only venues are different. I was just telling them, you buy an iPhone from 2 different stores. The venues are different. Okay, but the end product, what you're getting is the same. That's it.
Candidate usually have a doubt what is UKV and IELTS.
See, UK government says that I will not accept this test unless until it is taken in a secure condition. So what they mean by secure condition is they want this test to be taken under CCTV surveillance. So everything will be recorded just like you're doing now. So everything will be recorded. There will be a camera at the front, there will be a camera at the back, there will be a camera at the registration desk. So they will record everything. Okay? So for that, what we did is, and it has to be done in a separate hall, not with the regular candidates. Okay? So we put them in a separate hall, a separate room, something like this, and then everything is recorded and the same test. Okay? The question paper remains the same. It's just that it is taken in a different condition. That's it.
But expensive.
It is expensive because what happens is there is an infrastructure cost for that first thing, and we have to keep these videos and everything archived for 2 years because the test is valid for 2 years. So we have to keep that archived for 2 years in case if there is an investigation, just like what Cambridge does at times. So we have to give all those proofs to them. So there's a cost involved in that, which is the reason why the test is a little expensive.
It's only for UK.
It is not only for UK. If you take a UKVI, you can use it all around the world. It is accepted all around the world, including UK. But if you take a regular IELTS, it is accepted all around the world except UK. So that's the difference. So if you have an intention of applying to UK and some other country, I would suggest you take UK because that will actually basically help you for all the destinations. But if UK is not in your list, then you can go for the regular IELTS. But if you take a UK visa, it is valid in all other countries as well. No, speaking is done on a different day. Speaking can happen 7 days plus or minus from the LRW day. See, when you register for a test date, that is actually your LRW day, your listening, reading, writing day. Let's say today we have an LRW, so someone registers for 3rd, the LRW will happen today. Speaking can happen a week before or a week after, but it has to happen within 7 days, plus or minus 7 days. So they will get the schedule for that. They'll get an SMS, an email, that's what I told you, right? The advantages. So that's what it happens.
Yeah. So would you like to share your personal experience, how you make better your language, better accent, and better grammatic structure?
You think mine is good? Okay, I take it as a compliment. See, if you talk to me, if you ask me personally, I used to listen to a lot of English music in my younger days. I still watch a lot of English movies. So I think that helps a lot. It helps a lot as to to understand how they communicate, how they speak, how they pronounce, and that's the key. So, and talk as much as you can in English, read as much as you can, that also will help a lot. Yeah, because I understand we are not native English speakers, our mother tongue is different. You can't be as fluent, in English as you are with your mother tongue. Okay, but if you have to get some control of the language, you got to do some hard work. Okay, I would also suggest reading a lot, jot down all the difficult words, increase your vocabulary. The moment your vocabulary increases, your English will improve. Okay, so learn as many new words as possible. Take note, and make sentences with each word. It will help. Literally, it will help. I've done that myself. So whenever you come across a new word, look for it in the dictionary, understand the word, make 2 to 3 sentences, okay, and keep making a list. And every week you refresh that list. Just go through that list once again. So it gets imprinted in your mind. So once that is done, your language improves automatically. Apart from this, watch a lot of English movies. I know it might be a little difficult in the initial days. Go for the subtitled ones, wherein you have subtitles and all that. Watch that. Watch documentaries. You have a lot of documentaries these days. Watch documentaries. Listen to English music. It helps. Question. Whoever answers first, whoever answers correct, will also get a goodie from us. After how many days? Question. I didn't knew who answered. So
if you want to get a diary, you can raise.
Yeah, raise your hand and answer. Otherwise, I wouldn't know who's answering. Hold on with your question. Okay. We will rule out this question because I didn't know who answered and everybody answered in a group. Next. What is the weightage in percentage given to task 2 in writing?
75%.
You should not reply to this.
Give clap.
Task 2 carries 75% of the weightage, so please ensure that you give more time, due importance to task 2. Okay, next. Is there a limit on the number of attempts a candidate can make?
No.
He got into white. There is no limit. There is no limit in the number of times that you can take a test. Okay, and there is no restriction in the time span as well. So you can take a test immediately. But then I would not suggest take a test immediately if you don't get the required band, because you check your bands, check where have you actually missed out, give it some time, prepare, focus, and then give a test. Don't just jump the gun and then give a test again. Okay, next. Does an IELTS test report form show the result as passed or failed?
No.
Okay, I think he got it. The blue shirt, the spectacles. Next one. What is the range of bands across which a candidate is scored?
1 to 9. 0 to 9.
It's not 1 to 8, it's 0 to 9. This one. These are very easy questions, right? You want me to ask a difficult one? What is a lexical resource?
Vocabulary.
Guess another one? We have one more left? Okay, so we'll ask another question. What do you get in task 2? What is the question that you get in task 2? Can someone be more elaborate?
40 minutes to
40 minutes.
Task
Task 2 is essay writing.
Okay. But what do we do in that? What do you have to do?
write an
It
essay.
is-
Essay writing. First task is essay writing in GT is essay writing in letter.
No, I'm talking about task 2, not task 1.
250 words, 40 minutes.
Given the paragraph.
Maybe you can stand up and
Globalization, any other type of analytical essay or opinion type essay.
She gets it. You will be given a topic where you have to support the topic, or you have to write against the topic, and you have to write 250 words, which is for 40 minutes, and it carries 75% of the weightage. Right. Are we done? And I'd like to thank Mujib, okay, and
Now she done.
no, sure. Thank you for your time, and I'm really impressed that people have poured in from all places, apart from Calicut as well. So I wish you good luck, all the best, and if you need any kind of support, please feel free to reach out. I know that you have your right resources in front of you, but in case if we are of any help, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you.
Why we are here actually, ZodEDU is one of our authorized and non-licensed partners. You can see in our website also. Now that the authorized, if you want to book for IELTS, you can directly come to ZodEDU and do the book. It's the same fee also, 11,300. That's the other advantage. If you want to transfer, if you want to change your speaking date, whatever it is, you just directly come to ZodEDU and they will do the registration, they will take care of that.
They've been associated with us for quite some time now, and with them you are in safe hands. I'm sure that they'll give you the right kind of support, right kind of guidance. So you're absolutely in safe hands.